Hello, guys. How are you? Hopefully, you're doing well. So, today I'm going to do something a tad bit different, just a slightly different. For those of us who grew up with parents who hated our guts, this is a project that I've done and I want to share it with you. Um, I encourage all of you to do this, and I think it would be very healing. Okay? I have written a short love note to myself. So I'm approaching it from an adult on the outside of the situation, addressing the child inside of me that was abused. So my adult self is addressing my child self who was abused and hated. So I wrote a little love note. Um, One more thing. I'm just writing notes, so bear with me. Um, okay, so here goes. I would encourage all of you to do it, all of you who come from parents who hate you. You don't, obviously, it doesn't have to be anything like my letter, just whatever tugs at your heart. Okay? All right, here goes. It's not your fault you were conceived. It's not your fault your parents hated you. You are special. You were so cute growing up. You had beautiful long hair down your back. You were funny, adventurous, and playful, despite the hellish childhood you had. Your smile was and is so cute. Remember Aunt Jessie? She adored you and always had freshly baked goods in her home. The smell of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies with M&Ms in them, and she always had love to give. I mean, every time I walked into her house always smelled like freshly baked goods, always, always. And I'll never forget that. She always had yummies. She was awesome. She was the total opposite of the parents. She kept a pair of your onesie pajamas that you had as a youngin'. The love inside of her was infinite. She made a strawberry rhubarb pie that was to die for. You were talented. You were on a drill team, cheerleading squad, and a dance team with your high school. You loved performing on stage as well. The stage was your pleasant escape from the world. You always had genuine and loving best friends. They loved you and you loved them. You had perseverance to make it through your hellish childhood. You are an amazing, creative, and exemplary human being made in God's image. I love you. Ah. So, yeah, I think that everybody should write a love note to yourself because, like I said, as an adult talking to the child who was being abused and hated and called names and just constantly trying to destroy your soul. And one of the things that's amazing and mind-blowing about us is the fact that we have made it regardless of them. We have made it in spite of them. Okay? I was always told you're never going to amount to anything, and I was brutally beaten all the time. I was stabbed in my home and all of that. So if you've seen my other videos, you know the type of monstrosities that I've had to deal with. But I made it despite them, you know. I was told you're never going to amount to anything. Well, guess what? I was licensed by the state at one point to save lives, or to try to save lives. So that's pretty significant. So there goes that fallacy that you're never going to amount to anything. Yeah, I've got a license in my wallet that says differently. So take your opinion and stick it somewhere. I was always involved with acting and drama. I was always into that. And I was on the dance team and all this business. And I was telling a friend of mine, there was a play, a school play that I was in, okay? And I was a little girl and a prostitute in the play. Two completely opposite, completely different opposite ends of the spectrum, which is really funny. So at one point we did a preview of the play. Okay, we did a preview, and everybody was in the auditorium, and we were just giving them a preview of what the play was going to be about. And when I was the prostitute, I was unconscious, and I don't know if I was drunk or high, but I was unconscious, and not for real, okay, but my character was unconscious. So the guy was carrying me over his shoulder, okay, and I got on this little micro dress, so he's got me over his shoulder, and I'm trying to tug the dress down because I don't want to show my stuff. So I'm trying to wiggle, and he's like, "Would you be still?" I'm like, "I'm trying." So he carried me out, and he placed me on the bed, and everyone's around me fanning me, trying to bring me back around because I'm obviously not responsive, right? So they're trying to bring me around. So I talked to people after that, and they were like, "That wasn't you, that was a mannequin." "No, that was actually me." "Well, you look like a mannequin." Right, because my character was unconscious, so I'm going to be completely limp because I'm unconscious. But I guess I played that part really, really well because everybody was convinced I wasn't a real person. Do I look like a mannequin to you? It's kind of funny. But there was also a time when the father, and like I said, he's the king of the narcissist club. He must have been having a really good life in this little window of time where he wasn't raising hell, and the parents had never gone to any of my football games when I was on the dance team, never went to any of my basketball games when I was a cheerleader. I wasn't permitted to partake in the what do you call this, parade, okay? I wanted to be in the parade so bad. And she just wouldn't let me just because. There was no reason, just because. That's the reason, just because. So they never were involved with any of those activities, which to me that was normal because that's how my life always was. They never supported anything that I did. So to me that was normal. So when I saw other people's parents there supporting them, to me that was kind of weird. I'm like, your parents actually care about what you're doing? Wow, that's different. I remember the last basketball season of the year. She refused to let me go. And I was, on the cheerleading squad, so that's really important to me to cheer for my school. Hello. She refused to let me go. She just to be evil, she wouldn't let me go. And I think the only reason she allowed me to even be part of the dance team or drill team or anything was because she was trying to give this image of normalcy. You know, I allow her to do these things, so I'm not a bad person. Yeah, right. Y'all should see what goes on behind closed doors. But anyway, I think that's what that was. It wasn't for me to have enjoyment, it was just to perpetrate the fallacy of this house is normal and we allow our kids to partake in whatever, and it was all smoke and mirrors. Um, so I was pleading to go to the game. Last game of the season means the world to me, and she just was being an ass and wouldn't let me. And then finally she said, if you can get a ride, you can go. She knew I wasn't going to be able to get a ride. She knew that. So Lucinda Walsh was the name of the school bully when I was in grammar school. Yes, I went there. Everybody was intimidated by her. She'd beat you up in a heartbeat. Um, Everybody was intimidated by her. But I was desperate to get. She was a cheerleader too. We were on the same squad. And I have allergies. My eyes are watering like crazy. Um, but anyway, she lived down the street from me. And I asked her, can I ride in the car with you guys? Because I don't have a way to get there. And she said, no, the car's too full. Come to find out, that was a bull-faced lie. She had room in the car for one more person. She just didn't want to do it. Okay. So needless to say, I missed the last game of the season. But one of the things that the father did, and that was the only thing he did pertaining to anything that I was involved with, he did give me a ride to, I had to go long distance, Bristol, Connecticut, to go to to be in a spelling bee. I came in second place. Um, that was awesome. That was pretty dang awesome. Um, he actually was part of it, which was highly unusual because he only did what he wanted to do and when he wanted to do it. And he's never supported me since then. Well, of course, that was a long time ago. That was when I was in high school. But he never came to anything else. Yeah, I love that. Those of you who were abused by parents, you probably can very much relate to this. Christmas and Thanksgiving are pretty bad when you don't have family. The pain can be just about unbearable, but there's hope, okay? And the reason I say there's hope is because if you have friends who live in your area, they will be better family to you than your family ever was. So you can redefine what family is. Family doesn't always come in the form of blood. Sometimes it comes in the form of love, okay? And I have had friends who were wonderful, loving, kind, supportive. Um, always have your back. You always have their back. All they have to do is say, I need you, or you say, I need you to them, and y'all have each other's back through everything. That's, in my book, that's family. You know, they're best friends, but they're also family because they will always be there for you. And sometimes family is so dysfunctional that they're not capable of doing that. So holidays can be really bad, but it's all in how you reframe it, okay? You reframe it to where you spend time with those people who are your real friends, or you drive long distance to see them, or whatever it is that you have to do. Um, you know, life can hand you a really crappy deck of cards. Okay? But if you reframe your life, you will get the love that you deserve. And if you have children, you know from how you were treated that you will never do that to a child, because that's not normal. I mean, if you look at the wild, look at animals in the wild. What do? You go near a mama bear, for example, and she got babies, you will get yourself in a world of trouble, and you were nowhere near her babies, and she wants to attack you. My eyes are watering again, bear with me. She will jack you up. Most animals have an instinct to protect their young. It's just instinctive. They instinctively love their kids, and they will do anything, risk their own life to protect their kids. Now, are there exceptions to the rule? Yes. Some animals abandon their children not long after birth. They don't have the motherly, maternal instinct or whatever. But the majority of the time, that's not the case at all. It's instinctive to love your kids. So it's quite abnormal, especially for a mother, to carry someone in their body for 9 months, which is 3 months shy of a year. Carry someone in your body for 9 months and then dismiss them when they come out and abuse them for hating their guts. They were conceived, therefore they are the enemy. Look at animals in the wild. That's not how it works. The majority of the time, they will do anything in the world for their children. So it's kind of bizarre. So reframe the holidays. Replace your so-called family with friends who are better family. And I don't care what you were taught. You are nothing. You're a loser. You're never going to amount to anything. Blah, 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 blah. That's not true. You've made it through the worst of the worst, and you're still standing. That's pretty phenomenal. You're still standing. So, many of you have careers. Many of you are going to school. You're working and going to school, and you're determined to make something of your life. So that ideology of you're not going to amount to anything is a load of crap. That's not necessarily true. Just because you were told it repeatedly, that does not make it the truth. Just because it was banged into your head every opportunity, that does not mean it's true. Just means that your parents were individuals who hated themselves. They still hate themselves. And maybe they're jealous of you. I was told that. When I was younger. Yeah, she's probably jealous of you. I said, jealous of me for what? She has a career. She has a nice house. I was just a kid, right? So I didn't have anything. She has a career. She has a nice car. She's got a beautiful home in the suburbs. What the hell is she jealous of me for? Because there was something inside of me that she never had. And she tried real hard to destroy it. So did he, but they eventually got a divorce, and then, oh, what a mess. Just a mess. But there was something inside of me that she never had. There's a spark inside of me that she tried to snuff out like a candle. And it never worked. She was never successful with that. So, in your face. I'm never going to amount to anything. In your face. I had a license that told me differently. as a lot of you probably remember, she was a nurse. I don't know how she treated her patients, but how are you a nurse on the job, and when you get home, you're a monster? You are Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. That's so weird. And like I said in another video, she used to work for the criminally insane, or used to work with them, work with them. That's a little freaking weird. So, write yourself a love note. Chances are very high that you will not get the love from them that you deserve. So, don't ask yourself why. You're probably not going to get answers. But yeah, definitely write yourself a love note and remember that you have talent, that you have creativity, that you have something special inside of you that not everyone has. So you were fed a lot of psychological poison. Throw that right in the trash. Just take it and throw it right in the trash. That doesn't mean a hill of beans, okay? Consider the source. Okay? Consider the source. So, I think that's all I have for now. Nice and short and sweet and to the point. I love you guys. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, viewers. You are all special to me. Do not forget that. Okay? Take care and enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Love you.